The number one reason why people tell me they are too scared to sell on eBay is because of shipping. The number two reason I think is because of listing. There's a lot more when it comes to listing on eBay than a lot of other platforms, but shipping is always the number one reason why people tell me they are not on eBay. It's too scary. It's too complicated. They don't know how to do it. Therefore, they're not selling on eBay. Raise your hand in the comments if that's you. Let me know, be honest. So that's why I decided to film myself shipping everything that I sold on eBay in the month of April. And I walk you through how I ship everything, the decisions that I make in regards to, what kind of shipping materials I'm gonna use to ship this item out, why I decided to go with UPS versus USPS in this situation. I talk you through everything so that you have real life examples and a lot of them to learn from. I hope that this video is helpful for you. I know I wish there was a video like this that I could have watched when I first started selling on eBay. But the truth is, just like with anything else, the more you ship on eBay, the easier it gets. So let's get to shipping.
When it's all over, who's gonna be in your car?
Thank you so much to MUNBYN for sponsoring today's video. MUNBYN sent me their RealWriter 941 Wi-Fi and Airprint label printer to try out so you guys can see it in action. And you can print directly from your phone. Oh my gosh, I really like that. Okay. This is a great option for those who don't have a laptop or computer and what I will be using to print all of my eBay labels from the month of April. I think it's ready to go. I gotta select the size of the label, print. It is April 4th and I've got my first eBay sale to ship out, so clearly we are winning at life here. But it is this Polo Jeans Ralph Lauren polo shirt in a size extra large, new with tags. It's vintage though, look at how old this tag is. So the first thing I'm going to do, I took it out of my inventory and I'm going to put it in my little plastic baggy thing, just so that if something happens as this item is being shipped out, maybe there's a lot of rain, maybe the bag that this goes in rips or something, it's got the extra protection of this little plastic baggie. And then I'm going to weigh it. It's going to be under a pound, so I'm going to ship it out ground advantage. There's that. It weighs... Actually, I should put it in a bag first. Rookie mistake. Let me put it in my eBay poly mailer. This is what I purchased with my eBay store credit. You get like $50 to get stuff from the eBay shipping store on eBay itself. So you're buying eBay supplies on eBay. Imagine that. So it fits really nicely in there. I'm going to throw my thank you card in there, and this will also add a little bit of weight, which is why I want to make sure to put all this stuff in before I ship it out. Dear Ron, thank yous for being my first eBay sale of the month. So that goes in here. Close it up. We're going to see how much it weighs. So without the packaging and the thank you tag, it weighed 11.2 ounces. And with it, we are at 12 ounces, which is why you want to make sure that you put it on the scale once you have everything in the baggie and stuff like that. In the weight portion, I'm going to state that this is 12 ounces. The dimensions, I just kind of know because I know this bag, but if I wanted to, check for dimensions, it's 8.5 by about 9.5, and I'm going to say by 1 inch. So I'm going to say 8 by 9 by 1. They are asking for this to be shipped out ground advantage. They're asking me for $5.07. That's totally fine. I had charged this person $5 for shipping, so I was really, really close. And I'm okay paying 7 cents more. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase the shipping label. And then I'm going to print it. And then I'm going to slap it on here. So here we go. We're going to try printing it from my MUNBYN printer. There it goes. I still have to figure out why it's printing more than one page, but that's exciting. All right, so I have 3 eBay sales to ship out today, and I'm going to be showing you from my computer as well what I have to do on the eBay side of things. So I've got this Eileen Fisher piece, this Talbot's piece, and then some Cole Haan shoes. So I'm just going to go ahead and use bulk shipping, which means I can pay for everything at one time versus having to do everything one at a time and then print out individual labels. It'll all just kind of print out at once. This is the one thing I'm a little unsure with this MUNBYN printer, like how well it does more than one label at a time. I'm kind of concerned, but we'll see what happens. So the first thing that I'm going to ship out are these boots, or not really boots. They're like, I don't know, these are what they look like. They're from Cole Haan and they're very nice. I'm going to need a little bit bigger of a plastic bag than my normal one. All of my shipping supplies are linked down below. So I have 2 of these kind of like clear plastic bags that I will put everything in when I ship them out. And that's just so there's a little bit more protection. But this is the bigger size of the 2. And like I said, I'll have them linked down below. So if those are too small for anything that I'm trying to ship out, I will actually go with this bag. It's like from the Dollar Tree. So it's the 2.5 gallon jumbo size Ziploc bag. And I'll put large things like, you know, big shoes, big jackets, those kinds of things I will put in these baggies before I ship them out. There's a lot more room in here, so you can see lots of leftover space even. So we're going to put them in here first, and then I'm going to go ahead and weigh them. Most likely, I'm going to ship these out. I have a lot of boxes that I save from when I get like Amazon shipments and stuff. So even without a box, these are 2.81 ounces. So the goal is to keep it under 3 pounds. I don't know if that's going to be possible once I add a box. The other option is if I have like a really big padded envelope. I don't think I do. So I'm probably going to have to go over 3 pounds here. And I had the buyer pay $12 for shipping. They live in Virginia. And right now they're saying with it being 2 pounds, 14 ounces, but like 1 by 1 by 1, they're saying it's under $7. Let's see if I just put in like 14 by 16 by 8. I don't know if that's actually the size of my box. Now we're up to $13.01, and we're not even at 3 pounds yet. So let me find a box first, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, I think this is a perfect box. It was just like an Amazon box. And one thing I want to show really quickly. I was sent this by a company that does a lot of shipping, and they created this thing called Box Refresh. They asked me if I would have any use for it, and I was like, sure. So I did make a reel about it, and I will put that here. But basically, it's just like a paint that is like the same color as most boxes. And as you can see, I already used it on this old label. That way, I don't have to deal with like ripping off the label. Sometimes when you are shipping, even if you like take a Sharpie and go over all of the barcodes and stuff, they still won't take the item. And so this just covers over all of that completely. You can go ahead and stick a new label on here, or you can just, put a label on a completely different spot. So if you wanted to try this out, I will have a link for it down in the description below. It's a pretty cool thing to have. It does need about like 5 minutes to dry. So one thing I would suggest is as soon as you get a box in and you decide that you're going to reuse it for reselling, at that moment right then and there, I would just go ahead and do this to the label. So then when you need it, just like I needed it right now, it's already dry and you don't have to worry about anything. So that's a pretty cool product. Thank you guys for sending that out to me. I'm not like sponsored or anything like that, but they did send that to me for free, just for full transparency. So I'm going to go ahead and write my thank you card, and then I'm going to put it on the scale, and we're going to see how much it weighs. I'm a little bit nervous. So this is going out to Kurt. Dear Kurt, thank you. And in case you are wondering,
yes, I am in my PJs.
A lot of times I ship in my PJs because it's the last thing I do for the day. So we're going to go ahead and cut some of this extra stuff off. All right, and if I was like really trying to keep it under a certain weight, I would maybe not have taped this up yet, and I would see how much it weighs. But the truth is, this is like the perfect size box. There's not even anything that I could really cut down to make it smaller. So whatever this is, I'm just going to have to deal with it. So this weighs, it weighs 2.15 ounces. We did it. Okay, so 2.15 ounces, and let's get the actual dimensions of this box. So it is 7 by 9 by 11. So I'm going to type that in here, 7 by 9 by 11. So it is going to cost $7 for us to ship that out. Priority mail, that's perfect. Ground Advantage is even cheaper. But honestly, let's see. I said I was going to do priority mail. I'm already saving so much. I'm going to just go ahead and go with that. So that one is done. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. That was honestly going to be my hardest one. So I'm happy to get that one out of the way. By the way, a lot of the time, the reason why Amazon will put their labels on the side, that is the safest place to put it. I tend to put my label up here just because then it's like an added thing that's keeping the box together, because this is where the box comes together with the flaps on the top. I don't know. I've never really had any issues with putting it up here. And like I said, I like that added reinforcement. But you'll notice that usually when things get shipped out to you, they are on the side. And it's for that reason. It's just easier for the USPS worker to scan it in. All right, the next item is this Talbot's blazer. This one I should definitely be able to just put in a regular plastic bag. And so I'm going to go ahead and get it in here. This one, I think it might be right over a pound. We're going to double check and see. And this is going to Massachusetts. So it's kind of a toss up. We're going to check to see how much it would cost to get this out Ground Advantage. But I do have the option of shipping it out in a padded flat rate envelope. This will definitely fit inside one of those. And sometimes that is the cheapest way to ship something out if it's over a pound. But we're going to, double check and see which way is actually the cheapest. So let's just weigh this by itself first. It is 1 pound and 7.1 ounces, so it's definitely over a pound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and see Ground Advantage at 1.8 ounces. And if the package is about, let's see, I would just put it in a mailer. I don't really have good like mid-size eBay mailers right now. I gotta order some. So I would just probably put it in something like this. I just ordered this on Amazon. And the dimensions of this are basically 13 by 10. I'm going to say 12 by 10 because I folded over a little bit. Oops. So we're saying 12 by 10. And yeah, 609 for Ground Advantage. That's much better than doing the padded flat rate envelope. And I think because of where I live, things get to people pretty quickly because I'm right in the center. So this is going to Judith. And I will say that once eBay switched over to Ground Advantage, shipping generally has been a lot cheaper. So it's cheaper to ship things out Ground Advantage most of the time versus like using a padded flat rate envelope if something's over a pound. But even like priority mail sometimes is cheaper than it would be to do padded flat rate. So I don't know, like I think it makes a lot of sense to double check what your different options are and how much it would cost for each option. So again, here I'm going to put Judith's name, and then we got one more to do, and then we're going to print everything out all at once. So the last item that I'm shipping out on eBay is this Eileen Fisher. It's like a little jacket type thing. This will go nicely in this bag. And then we should be able to fit this in one of the eBay poly mailers, and I'll show you that. And like I said, the eBay poly mailer is something that I ordered just from the eBay shipping like store on eBay. And I don't really pay for anything. I just use my store coupon. You get like a $50 coupon if you're at the same level store that I am. I'm going to put this guy in here. Actually, I feel like I could just do it like this. Yeah. And then we'll put the thank you card inside. This is going to Cynthia. All right, so this is going to go inside of here. And we're going to go ahead and weigh this. That is 10.4 ounces. And the dimensions on this are 11 by 8.5. So I'm just going to say 11 by 8, 11 by 8. And so that's going to cost $5, which is perfect. So now, since I have everything for all 3 of these eBay shipments, I'm going to go up here to review purchase, and it's going to show me the amount that I need to pay for all 3 of those. That is fine. I'm going to pay for those 3 labels. They are paid for now. I'm going to print the labels straight from eBay. And because I'm shipping through eBay, I do save some money on shipping versus if I were to like take these items to the post office and just do it there. So I'm going to go ahead and select my MUNBYN printer, and we're going to see if these will print nicely all at once. First one is great. And that's all she wrote. So now, okay. First one was great. I'm going to go ahead and reposition this. Oh! Second one, great. Okay, so I feel like you just have to reposition them, which is kind of annoying, but it's actually better than what I thought it was going to do. And there goes the third one. Okay. Honestly, I will take it. I think what confused me is the red light. I, like before, had been turning it on and off, but it looks like maybe you don't even have to do that. So those are my 3 labels. I'm going to try to show them to you without showing you, like, their names and stuff, but that actually printed really nicely. I'm surprised. There you go. Hello, it is Sunday the 14th. I have, let's see, 8 eBay sales, I believe, to ship out, and that's mainly because starting Friday, I believe, I started a 40% off sale on my entire store because it was kind of ridiculous, like how few sales I'd made that week. So we're going to go ahead and get started with shipping them. I also have a little bit of a bonus that I'll ship with you guys at the end, and I'll show you how I use Pirate Ship for things that are not on eBay or Poshmark or things like that. So this first thing that I'm shipping out is this Lululemon Lab Wool like tie-dye long sleeve shirt. I got it at a Goodwill in a suburb called Lombard, Illinois. And this one is pretty lightweight. It's just going to go out ground, USPS ground shipping. So this one will be a pretty simple one. I'm going to go ahead and I'll put it in one of these poly mailers. And after I put this in the bag and put my card in, I will go ahead and weigh it. Again, on my Accutech shipping scale, always linked down below. And this is going out to Michelle. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in the bag. We'll wait. If I had to guess, I would say like 6 ounces. Let's see. 7 ounces on the dot. So I'm going to write that here next to where it says that item. And then I'm going to write Michelle's name on the bag so that when I have to print them, they'll just all print out at once. So this is an Armani Collezioni polo that I believe I found at the bins, I want to say. So pretty nice find there. And I think this one sold for like $30. Okay, I just made a little bit of a mess, but that's all right. This is another really lightweight one. I think this weighs even less than the Lululemon piece, if you can believe it. So maybe this is right around 6 ounces. We'll see. So this is going to go in the same kind of poly mailer, eBay poly mailer that I used for the Lululemon piece. And then I'll write the card. I'll weigh it. So these are going kind of fast, which is really nice. This one is going out to Kunal. You know, a lot of people ask me, like, why do I still write thank you cards? Especially given the fact that I'm always complaining about how I don't have time. And I really don't, but I can't tell you, like, how much feedback I get, like, positive feedback on eBay or Poshmark. But I get so many comments, like, whether it's in the form of love notes or feedback on eBay, where people say to me, I just really loved the shipping, specifically the card and the handwritten thank you note. And even though literally all I write is thank you, I write dear, I put the person's name, and then I just say thank you, and then I sign my name, and I have the most horrendous handwriting, so it's not even like pretty or cute. It's not like I'm doing calligraphy or anything like that. But I don't know, like, it gets mentioned so often, and I know that even just that small gesture really goes a long way. It means a lot to people. It makes them feel like, oh, this person really values me as a customer. So it doesn't take that long. I just, go ahead and do it. I usually get my thank you cards shipped to me from Vistaprint. This is a blazer, by the way, by Evan Picone. I definitely got it in some sort of like reseller buyout because I would not pick this up at the thrift store, but it sold as part of my sale. But I get my thank you cards at Vistaprint in bulk, and I think each one comes out to like, I don't know, like 20 cents or something like that. And I also put like my information on the card, so I'll let them know where they can find me on social media and YouTube and stuff like that. And then I also have, on the front, this is what my card looks like. And at the bottom, there's a nice little quote that I really like, which says, "Be kind, stay humble, work hard." I would say that's kind of my motto. Like, you can be a lot of things and be remembered for a lot of things, but that's kind of what I want people to remember about me. So this is going to Catherine. So I just write, "Dear Catherine, thank you." And then I sign my name. And if it's someone like I know who they are, they've purchased from me before, I do try to write a little bit more, but typically I just write, their name and that kind of stuff. So on the outside, I'm going to write Catherine. I'm going to weigh it. Still under a pound. It's about 11.9 ounces. So I'm going to say 0.12. I'll set that over here. Next up, I have a pair of Old Navy jeans. I have two like identical jeans. They're like the built-in tough jeans for men. They did not sell for a lot. I think they sold for like $11 or something like that, which is fine. It's Old Navy. Some Old Navy can do decent, and by decent I mean like sell for like $20, $25, maybe even a little bit more. But generally speaking, I think everyone understands that Old Navy is kind of the Spirit Airlines of clothing stores. Like, it's not very expensive. This is going to weigh over a pound. So for this one, yeah, it's 1.6 ounces, which I'll write down. And that's even before it's I'm not going to write down the weight yet. But this one, I'm going to check and see what the best option is. Is it best for me to ship this out ground? And usually it is if this person lives nearby, or is it best for me to do a padded flat rate envelope? So this person lives in Alabama. I am in Illinois. So a priority mail flat rate envelope, padded envelope would be $8.74. Ground advantage is $5.93. So I'm going to go with ground advantage. So we're going to go ahead and stick this guy in this same eBay poly mailer. And I'm going to write the card, and then I will get the actual weight on it. Even though, like, for ground, everything between 1 and 2 pounds is going to cost the same. It doesn't matter if it's a pound and 1 ounce or a pound and 15 ounces. If it's 1 to 2 pounds, it's going to be the same. So it's not really that important that I get like the exact ounce. But let's see. This is going out to Anthony. I'm going to write his name. It's probably like 1.8 ounces. 1.6. What was I thinking? Let's do these guys next. I got these. It was like, I don't do a lot of, what do you call it? I don't do a lot of retail arbitrage, but these were really cheap at Target. And, comps actually looked decent at the time. They did take a little bit to sell, but I was selling them in lots of 2. They're like these sunscreen sticks. They were being discontinued, which is why I took the time to look at them. Yeah, they took some time to sell, but, I did definitely make money off of them. Not a lot, but I made some money. But yeah, I'm choosing to use a padded poly mailer because, I don't know, I don't think these would get like dented or anything like that, but it just offers a little bit more protection. So I think that'll just also make the person receiving them feel better. Like I put a little bit more thought and care into the package. So this guy, we have to go ahead and write a card for. Dear Randy, thank you. And anything that's like not clothing, anything that's kind of more of a hard good, even shoes. I don't put most shoes in poly mailers. I want to put them either in a box or in something that just has a little bit more, something that's going to offer a little bit more protection. And then I do have my eBay tape. And I just like take the eBay tape and put it on whatever tape dispenser I have available, so it's easier to use. I'm going to go ahead and write this person's name right on the label that I'm going to put my new label over, just so it kind of reminds me like, hey, you got to put the label right here. I did get most of the barcode off, but just, you know, there's still a little bit left and they will not like that. So this is going again to Randy, and this weighs 7.5, so we're going to say 0.8 ounces. Ooh. And I got to get one more thing that sold while I started shipping. Let me pull it really quickly. I got this tea collection dress like at a Goodwill, and I don't pick up children's clothing to resell, but Tea Collection is a decent brand. It doesn't sell for a huge amount of money, but you know, it sells. And so I listed mine for $19.99 on eBay, and it sold for my full asking price within a few days. So that was a really fun sale. But this is nice and lightweight. This will definitely go ground as well. Lots of kind of more lighter weight pieces. The majority of them are, to be honest with you, because the majority of what's sold, the majority of what's sold is clothes. So this should fit in here. And then we'll add the label. This is going to Jaime or Jamie, I'm not sure. I have a coworker named Jaime, so I'm inclined to say Jaime. And this dress was really cute. It was in my daughter's size, but I don't know, she doesn't wear dresses like this. I feel like the Tea Collection is like too cutesy for her. She did like it when she was younger, but now that she's almost 11, it's not really her style. And so I was kind of surprised that that sold as quickly as it did, because I did feel like it was kind of a tough style for that size, because I do feel like a lot of kids in that size range are not wearing, you know, as much cutesy stuff. But again, literally took just a couple of days to sell. Okay, this is a pair of Ralph Lauren pants. These sold as part of my sale. They sold pretty fast. I have not had them listed for very long at all, and I thought that they were going to take a lot longer to sell than they did. And I kind of think, even though these are jeans, I think these are under a pound. Oh, for sure they are. They're like 13.8 ounces. So we're going to go ahead and stick these. I might have to, no, I think they'll fit. It'll go in. Yeah. Perfect. And these are going out to Susan. I have already been shipping for like an hour because I had a lot of Poshmark sales to ship out. So I'm like really trying to go through these as fast as I can. It's 6:30 p.m. I'm very hungry. I want to eat dinner. But I'm still also trying to make sure that I'm not making mistakes. I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing things well. So this actually is going to end up weighing about 15 ounces. It's 14.3, but we're going to round up and say 15. It's going to end up weighing about that much when all is said and done. This is a Torrid tank. I have a nice little plastic bag that'll go into. It'll go into one of these little smaller guys. It'll fit in there perfectly. I think this is my last eBay sale, and then I'll show you how I'm going to ship out something to a Instagram and YouTube friend. So here is that, and we're going to put this in one of these. And you know, I have these like little thank you stickers. I always forget to put them on, but I'll just go ahead and put it right there. These are from when I purchased reseller buyouts. A lot of resellers will buy those little stickers, and they'll put them on those little like plastic bags. And so they would give them to me too, because they were no longer reselling. So now I have a bunch of those, and I just always forget to use them. So this is going out to Michaela. That is like one of the most terrifying things about being a teacher, is when you take attendance for the very first time, because you know you're going to butcher some kids' names, and then there are kids who don't go by the name that is on their official school roster. Like, it's just always rough. And I, you know, always want to take the time at the beginning of the school year to make sure that I'm learning how to say the kids' names properly. That is 0.6 ounces on the dot. But yeah, there's always this like, just at the very beginning, because you know it's going to be so bad. All right, so I wrote down, especially because there were so many eBay sales to ship out today, I wrote down how much everything weighs, and now all I have to do is like plug and chug into eBay, because I have all that information. So first I'm saying that my Neutrogena lot of sunscreen, weighed 8 ounces. I'm going to put in the measurements of the bag. The tea collection dress, we are saying, is 10 ounces. Perfect. I already had that. And I have the dimensions in there already. Torrid is 0.6 ounces. Perfect. I already had that. And I just have to put in the dimensions. This one is a little bit smaller. Ralph Lauren is actually ground. Oops. Oh my gosh, ground is so expensive. Why? Oh, you're going to Washington. This one is actually better to do as a padded flat rate envelope. So that one was, let's see. This is Susan's pack. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take this and we're just going to stick it inside one of these. I'm not going to like undo everything. It's a little overkill, but nothing bad is going to happen to this pair of pants now. So I'm going to write Susan's name here. And that is just going to be so much cheaper. It was going to be like 10 something in order for me to do that one priority mail. And this one stinks a little bit because I charged $7 for shipping and it's actually going to come out to $8.74. But you know, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. What are you going to do? So we have that information in. The Old Navy jeans, and this is where we save a little bit of money. I charged $8.30 for the Old Navy jeans, but I'm actually able to ship them out ground, and they're only going to cost $5.63. So it's kind of like you lose some money here, but you gain some money here, and it is what it is. I just got to put in the dimensions. The Lululemon one, I said 10 ounces, but it actually came out to 7. Sometimes the default dimensions on eBay are crazy. And so you want to check, like the default sometimes is like 18 inches by 20 something inches. And I'm like, what am I shipping out here? It's a tiny little polo shirt. So I changed it. And now I'm going to review purchase. My total for shipping these 8 items today is $43.13. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay for that, confirm and pay. And then I'm going to print out the labels to my MUNBYN what is this called? Bluetooth printer. You can see I don't have like a printer plugged in. I don't have it like, I don't know what the official terms, like the input or whatever. It's just kind of on its own. I do probably need to turn it on. That would help a lot. So I'm going to print the labels. I'll let that kind of kick on first before I select it. And then we're going to go ahead and print. And then we'll get these printers onto the items. And then we'll print one last thing together for my friend. There we go. It's getting started.
How well it does more than one label at a time. I'm kind of concerned, but we'll see what happens.
It wants me to reset it again. So this is definitely a con compared to my Dymo. I don't have to like really mess with it. And last time I printed in bulk, I didn't have to mess with it either, but I am right now, and that's all right. If you just really need a Bluetooth printer for some reason, if you're printing from, you know, your phone or something like that, you don't have a computer, this is a small price to pay, I guess. But, you know, with my like Dymo, if I'm using my laptop, this is definitely going to make me not want to use this compared to my Dymo. All right, let's turn it on and off. That did not work. And you know, I'm just going to be done with this for now. I'm just going to go ahead and use my regular printer because now this is just bothering me. So, pages 6 through 8, I mean. It's going to print them all out one at a time, and it's going to print the correct labels. Lordy. All right. Michelle goes here. Quinola goes here. So, you know, it's pretty cool that this is Bluetooth, but it's not perfect. And if I had to choose, I would choose my Dymo over and over and over again. But if you're in a situation where you don't have a computer, you can't print stuff from a computer, you have to print from your phone, this is going to do it, but you're going to have some issues, as you're seeing, especially when you're doing printing in bulk. So yeah. All right, we're gonna ship out this one thing for a viewer. It is this thing right here. I got this from my neighbor because they're moving out and they're downsizing and they don't have kids anymore. Their kids are grown. I think they were maybe doing this kind of stuff. They have a lot of crafts type stuff. And I think maybe they were doing that with like their grandkids, but they're moving, they're downsizing, and they've been giving us a ton of stuff, including their grand piano for free because they were like, we just want it to go to a good home. I don't think they wanted to mess with like running an estate sale or anything like that. I'll take it. So we're going to find a box that this will fit in, and then I'll show you on Pirate Ship what I would do to get this shipped out. All right, we're going to go ahead and use this old Amazon box. It's a box inside of a box. I don't think I really need to add any like extra stuff to it to keep it safe. It should be fine. And I just ripped off the old label. There's still a little bit of it left here. I'm going to ship this out using Pirate Ship. And this is going to go to Rebecca. She is Cozy Shire on Instagram and also on YouTube. So if you haven't checked out her channel, please do. She's got really great content over there. I'm going to just write her little card. Dear Rebecca, I hope your son loves making paper with this. I had made a post on Instagram about the fact that, you know, we had gotten all these things for free, and I had shown pictures of different things that our neighbors had given us. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to add that Crayola paper maker to my, it was like her Amazon wish list or something like that. Like she just wanted to remember, like this was something that she wanted to get for her and her kids to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll just send it to you because we have a lot of things in our home that we don't do and we don't need another one. So I just wanted it to kind of like my neighbor go somewhere that, you know, they would actually use it and enjoy it. So that's why I'm sending this out to her. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some dimensions and then we'll get the weight. So this is 16 by 12 by about 7. 16, 12, 11, I said. I'm just going to write it there. That's not right. Why do I... like 16, 12, 7. That's what it is. I always think I'm going to be able to remember things without writing them down, and I can't. This weighs 3.1 ounces. So the reason, well, okay, let's get some measurement. Let's find out about weight. The reason why I'm sighing is because usually if something weighs over 3 pounds, it's different than if something weighs over 2 pounds. Like there's a rate for 2 to 3 pound items, and then there's a rate for 3 to 4 pound items. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm sighing is because this box does have some extra space right here that if I wanted, I could like resize the box. I could cut it down. We're going to see if we have to. Sometimes they don't charge more just because you hit that 3 pound mark. It's literally 3 pound, 1 ounce. I just have to get rid of 1 ounce worth. Okay, but we're going to go to Pirate Ship. All right, so here I am on Pirate Ship. I'm going to log in and tell them I'm not a robot. I'm going to accept the terms. So I'm going to create a new label. I have her information here. I'm obviously going to blur it out so you cannot see her address and stuff like that. But I'm going to put in all of that information first. I have my ship from address. I'm going to put in the dimensions. So we said 16 by 12 by 7. And we're going to see. So if it's 3.1 ounces, to get this to Pennsylvania, oh wow, it's going to cost $6.79. I'm just going to do that. That's amazing. It might be a little bit less if I do it, you know, saying that it's 2 to 3 pounds, but I don't even think it's going to be that much less. So yes, we're going to do that. That is going to go through UPS perfectly fine. We're going to download. We're going to print. And we're done. That was easy. So thank you so much for shipping with me today. Hopefully we will see each other a lot more in this video because that will mean a lot more things sell. But yeah, I'll see you in the next part. All right, I have 2 eBay sales to ship out today. Let me move this really quick. The first is this cute little vest by the brand Goodale. I'm pretty sure it's a vintage piece, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to fit it inside of this. So this will be an easy one, but after this, I have a pair of boots to ship out, and those, you know, just because they're like knee-high boots, they're a little bit more intense. I had to find a good box to put them in. There's just a little bit more that goes into that. But first, we'll deal with this little guy here. I'm going to put it in this little eBay poly mailer. It should go in there pretty nicely. Maybe, it might be a little scrunched, but that's okay. Yeah, that'll do just fine. We're going to write our card, as always. This is going out to Robert. All right, so this is going to go inside of here. And we're going to weigh this. That is 0.5 ounces. It's actually 4.6, but we're going to call it 0.5. I'm going to go ahead and just put that information straight into eBay since I don't have that many eBay sales today. Sometimes because I've taken so long during the shipping process, it's almost like the information goes stale and I have to refresh the page and then I lose all the information that I put in. But this one, I'm good to go. This one is costing $4.68 to ship out USPS Ground Advantage to Washington. So it's going pretty far, but because it's so little and so lightweight, it's still not going to cost a whole lot. But this one might. And let's see where this one's going. Oh, Lordy. So this pair of boots is going all the way to California. So that's going to stink a little bit. They're going to be pretty expensive to ship out. So we're going to see just how expensive. The first thing I'm going to do with these is I'm going to find a really long bag. And thankfully I've got a bunch. So these I use to store my boots in. And I'm just going to go ahead and like actually ship these out in this bag too. So I'm going to put them in likewise. I'll put one end in with the bottom and then one end in with the top facing up. And that way there's not too much width on one end. And I should be able to close this. All right. And then I did find a box before I started filming that I think this should fit in pretty nicely. All right. Like that's pretty good. It's not like they're going to have like a horrible bend for like the huge long trip to California, and so there shouldn't be any like cracking in the leather or anything like that. So I found this box right here, and this is gonna fit very nicely in there. And probably what I'm gonna do is I am gonna go ahead and cut this box down most likely, because if I don't, I think that I'm gonna have to pay a lot more for shipping. So let's see first how many pounds this is or how much it weighs. So as it stands without a card, and it's not like the card is going to do much. Wow, that is at 2.15 ounces. So that's actually not bad. There is a lot of wasted space. Like the boots come to about here, and if I wanted, I could cut this down. So I'm going to see what the price of this is with the measurements, with the box being the way that it is, and then I'll compare it to the measurements of the box if I were to do like a shorter version. So as it stands now, it's 15.5 by 12. If I were to make it shorter, it would be about, yeah, I'd be able to cut down about 4 inches. So we're going to compare, and I'll show you on my screen what that looks like here. So we're going to do priority mail most likely. Oh, I could do Ground Advantage. Okay, let's try Ground Advantage. But it is 2.15 ounces, and we said right now as it stands it's 15.5. Oops, that says 16 by 6. 15.5 by 12 by 10. That is going to make it $18.10. Priority mail is $36. There are options with like FedEx, but let's see. Okay, so $18.10. I'm going to write that down so we can compare. If I change this number, though, to 8, it's back to $10. So for the sake of saving about $8.10, which is a lot, I'm going to go ahead and cut this down, and I'll show you what I do. I got this cute little box cutter in Korea at a store called Daiso. Box cutters do not need to look so cute, but it's nice when they do. So the smart thing is to take out the item that you are shipping so that you don't accidentally damage it. So I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to cut to about, let's see, we need to cut off about 7 inches. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to cut into the corners right here. And I'm just going to go down as far as that little line that I drew. And then all I'm going to do once I've done this to all 4 sides is I'm going to be able to fold in the box. So that's one corner done. Obviously, you want to be super careful when you're dealing with a box cutter. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to make it a little bit lighter too, because I'm actually going to cut out portions of this box. All right, so now what I can do is I can fold this in where I made those cuts. It's always a little bit harder on the longer ends, but all right. So now I've got all of this extra stuff up on top. I don't need so much of like the flappiness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off, let's see. I can cut off this whole thing right here. So I'm going to get my box cutter again. And I'm just going to cut right where this crease is. I'll try to fold this down so you can see it. I'm going to cut right where this crease is and get rid of this little flap. And I'm cutting off, you know, a few ounces of material here. So this is gone now. And I can still, you know, make sure that nothing is showing. If I wanted to, I could cut these flaps off too. But I was already right at the weight I needed to be. So I'll just leave those for now. So now I'm going to take my boots. I'm going to put them in again. And there's still more than enough room for me to close the box up. I'm going to get just a little bit of my air pocket things. I'll put them in here. I'm going to write my thank you card. And these actually sold before, but they weren't wide enough for the last person. And so they got returned and they sold again pretty quickly. Dear Michelle, thank you. All right, so we're going to stick this in, and then we're going to just go ahead and close it up just like it was any other normal box. It's not maybe the cutest thing in the world, but it'll do. So I'll tape it this way first. It's probably one of the ugliest boxes I've ever seen. But it's going to get the job done. And that is all that matters. So now, just to be safe, I'm going to try weighing it and measuring it one more time. But for sure, we're going to be way under 3 pounds now. We are at, okay, so it's actually saying it's 2 pounds and 15.7 ounces right now, which means I think earlier I actually wasn't weighing it correctly. So earlier it was above 3 pounds, it looks like. So it's a good thing we cut off some of that excess weight. And height-wise, I got this down to, yep, right at 8 inches at its tallest, and then everything else is the same. Actually, this is at 10.5, and this is still at 15.5. So these are both done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my printer. If you remember last time, this MUNBYN printer was giving us a little bit of trouble. Hopefully that is not the case today, but let's see. All right, so we're going to review the purchase. We're going to confirm and pay. And then we're going to go ahead and print the labels. We'll send the labels. Oh, I sent them to my Dymo. Let me send them to my MUNBYN just to show you what it would be like. So we're going to send them over to this guy as well, but I've got them printed on my Dymo too because, whoopsie, that was my default. Let's go, MUNBYN. Let's go. Let's go, MUNBYN. Let's go. There we go. Okay. So this one is for Michelle, which is the pair of boots. And just like last time, we had to reposition this. We'll get this on the vest. And that is everything for today. It is April 21st. We only have 2 items to ship out on eBay. It was a slow weekend, and it was just a slow week last week in general. But the first item is this pair of shorts from J. Crew Factory. They're green with a blue polka dots. I'm trying to see if they'll fit. I think they'll fit in this little baggie. Let's see. These, I actually had changed my shipping and handling a while ago. During spring break, when my family and I went on a trip, I changed it to like a 10-day shipping and handling period time just because I was going to be gone. And I don't think that this item, for whatever reason, got changed back. So when I came back from my trip, I obviously changed my shipping and handling back to 1 day. But this one, it gave me like 10 days to ship it out. So I was very much thinking like, oh gosh, I got to hurry up and get this shipped out because it was like the next day that it sold, but no such thing because it's saying I got a lot more time, but I'm just going to go ahead and get it out anyway. So it fit in this little poly bag or little plastic bag. I'm going to put it in a little eBay poly mailer, and then I'm going to do my card. We'll weigh it, and it should not be that bad. This is going out to Nikki. This sold for not a lot of money, but I was very willing to let it go for a very small amount because I've had it for many, many years. And these kinds of chino shorts from J. Crew, not all the rage right now. I think people still wear them, especially people who just want a very classic look for the summer. They want to look very put together, very almost like preppy, but it's not something that a lot of people are wearing, I feel like. So this, I'm going to write Nikki on. And we're going to weigh it. It weighs 7.3 ounces. So we're going to say 8 ounces, which it already says. I'll go ahead and weigh this bag again. I usually give approximate whatever, information. It's 8 by 6, which is what I have been putting for those little bags. So we're going to say this guy is 8 by 6. All right. And that's going to cost $4.31 to ship out. And then last but not least, LL Bean piece. This was actually only listed for like a week, and then it sold for my full asking price. Pretty lightweight, definitely under a pound. Nice little button up. Every once in a while, especially if it's like a black item, I will like open it up, give it a once over, just make sure that, there's no random pieces of lint or anything on the item. But I try to do that as much as possible before I even put it in my inventory in the first place so that when I pull it out, it's just ready to go. And you can see how quickly this goes when you kind of do some of that work ahead of time. So this guy is going to have to go in a bigger bag, and then we'll write the card, we'll weigh it out, and we'll see what happens. All right, so this guy is going out to Steven, or maybe it's Stefan, I'm not quite sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my printer on because we're going to use it here in a second. Let's see how much this guy weighs. This guy weighs 10 ounces exactly, which is exactly what I had written down already. Putting in my dimensions for the bag, and then we'll go ahead and get things printed. So this is going out to Steven. I'm going to print my 2 labels. So to purchase them both, $9.38, not bad at all. And then we're going to send the labels to my MUNBYN printer. Let's go. I'll put my packages right here as the print. All right, so here's Steven's. Got to do that thing again. Let's see if it'll let me do it without having to turn it off and on. Yeesh. And there's Nikki's. All right, that is it for today. Hopefully we have like 8,000 tomorrow. All right, we have a lot of eBay packages to ship out together, and that's because I was gone at a conference about YouTube stuff, and I changed my shipping and handling time so that I would have more time to ship. So now is the time that we're going to ship all of those things. I have everything pulled on this ladder back here, so we're just going to start with one and just see what happens. And then just to show you, these are all of the items that I have shipped already for Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. I've got a Depop sale, can you believe it or not? So I'm going to start with this dress. I have had this for a very long time, so I'm very happy to get it out of the house. I don't think it sold for very much, but this dress is most definitely going to go out ground shipping. It's very lightweight, and we'll see where this person lives to see how cheap it's going to be. I actually just shipped out a Depop item, like I said, and it was this really heavy pair of Everlane jeans, and of course it sold to Alaska. Sitka, Alaska. I put it in a padded flat rate envelope, and I was using pirate ship, and I don't know if it's just more expensive even to ship padded flat rate envelopes to Alaska, because I think it's supposed to be like $8.78, but instead it was $9.50, which was better than ground. Ground was like 11 something. That's the annoying thing about Depop is I don't have the buyer pay for shipping on Depop. I pay for it myself. And so when I accepted the offer, I was like, okay, most likely the shipping's not going to be that bad. Worst case scenario, you know, I pay $8.78. But of course, the worst case scenario is that they would live in Alaska. All right, so let me get my thank you cards. Thankfully, I ordered a bunch more of these because I am running out. My stack, as you can see, is very little. But I ordered them through Vistaprint, and so I ordered like 1,000 more just a couple weeks ago. This is going to Helen. So we'll put this in here. We'll wait. I should turn on my MUNBYN printer. I think instead of doing bulk shipping right now, because of this printer and how it doesn't like to ship in or print in bulk, I'm just going to do one at a time. So actually, I feel like that'll be annoying too. Let's see. Let's see what the best options are. Okay, so I've had this eBay shipping page open for a while, and that's what I'm talking about. I put in the dimensions and it was like, sorry, we can't do this right now. And that's because I've just been idle for too long. And that's why I will write down on my little notebook how much things weigh so that I have that information somewhere written down in case eBay decides to say it's been too long since I've opened the shipping page. But I'm going to see if I can just... no, I'm just going to do it all at once. We'll just print the way we've been doing it. So I just need to remember this dress is, and I wrote it in there too, or 6 ounces. So I wrote it in there, $4.38 to ship that one out. This is a tiny pair of like Nike shorts. This I'm going to actually be able to put in this little tiny bag. This was something that my son wore, and I think it sold for like, I don't know, $5 or something. It did not sell for a lot, which is fine. I'm just happy to get it out of my house, and happy that I don't have to keep it listed. I don't have to keep sharing it on Poshmark. All right. This is going out to Michael. Speaking of my son, it was his birthday 2 days ago. He just turned 7, which is crazy. I don't really feel like I'm mature enough to have a 7-year-old and a soon-to-be 11-year-old. Like, that just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Like, I'm starting to have conversations with my 11-year-old daughter that I have always dreaded having to have with anyone because, again, I'm just not mature enough. Okay, let me write down the name. For this person, this was the dress. This is going to Helen, and this is going to Michael. And I already forgot how much this weighs because that's how my brain is. That's, it says 3.1 ounces. I think I can say 3. That's fine. So 3 ounces for the shorts. All right, we're going to move these over here. Next up, you guys, this dress, it's Ralph Lauren. It sold for my full asking price of $49.99. And that was after I sent many offers on it for like $41.90. I just knew it was going to do so well. It's a really cool dress. I'm pretty sure it's vintage as well. And I'm just so excited that after sending, like, no joke, at least I don't know, at least like 6 to 7 offers on it across different platforms. It sold just outright for my full asking price. That is best case scenario. Always so excited when that happens. So let's see if I can get it in here. It's gonna get a little bit squished, but that's okay. Actually, it's fine. All right, so this is going out to Danielle, and it's really just such a cool dress, like a, oh jeez, dear Danielle, thank you. This is why I say I'm so bad at multitasking. Like, I wrote Danielle first, and then I had to write the word dear above it because I cannot talk and do this at the same time. This is why I don't shoot a lot of ship with me videos. I am not good at it. I don't, you know, kudos to those who can do this effortlessly. I am not one of those people. Okay, that's 11 ounces. And I'm going to write that down next to where it says Lauren Ralph Lauren Madras. Plaid. Oh my God. See, I just wrote the name Lauren, but this is going out to Danielle. And that's because I was saying Lauren Ralph Lauren. Next up, I have this Ted Baker button-up shirt for men. I realized in like ending the listing on all my other platforms that it sold on, that this wasn't even listed to any other platforms. It was only on eBay. And that's why, like, I need to hurry up and do an audit of what's in these bins, because I guarantee there's probably at least 10, if not more, items just hanging out in these bins that aren't even listed. And I guarantee that there are items that are not listed onto all of the platforms that they need to be listed on. Like, I feel like this Ted Baker piece could have definitely sold on a platform like Poshmark that just wasn't listed. And if it's not listed, it cannot sell. So this piece is going out to Ray. Thank God for you, Ray, because without you, I would have probably sat on that forever and ever. So this is going out to Ray. It weighs 6.7 ounces, so we're going to call it 7. I'm going to write Ray here. I'm going to write 7 over here. Next up, we have this amazing pair of Jeffrey Campbell slides. They're like, you can see like a straw woven upper. Oh, they're so cool. Perfect for the summer. These, let's see how much they weigh. They're definitely under a pound. Do I have a thin enough box that will fit inside of this? And if not, I think I have bigger, like old Amazon. You know, okay, let's see. Maybe I can just fashion. It's really just like this upper part here that I don't want to get crushed. And I feel like if I can just, yeah, like see, if I can just kind of create a little barrier around that part. I just need another piece of wood like this. Not wood, cardboard. This is what I use when I cut down that box on a different day. So where's the other flappity flap? Let me try to see what I can do here.
3 hours later.
I think what makes the most sense is just to use something like this. Just give it extra, you know, whatever, so it doesn't get smushed. Maybe we can give it a little extra, something like, I'm honestly doing too much. But I would rather the buyer feel like I did too much versus doing too little. Okay, look, it's not cute, but it'll do. So I'm just gonna tape the back of this together. Ooh, it's ugly. That's okay. Using my belly. Okay. So, you know, it provides a little bit more protection. I think that'll do. So now I'm going to stick this inside of here. It's got that little extra protection so that the top, like the uppers of the slides don't get super smushed in here. Especially if you can imagine, you know, in a truck, just like a ton of packages kind of going right on top of each other and smushing that down. So this is going out to Medina. These I think sold on an offer, if I remember correctly. Okay, so
that. Just gonna go here. Alright, we're gonna weigh this. It should definitely still be under a pound. If not, I'm gonna be really upset. Okay, 13.2, we're gonna call it 14 ounces. I'm gonna write Medina right here. That took a lot longer than it needed to, but that's alright. Next up, we have another pair of shoes. These are a new without the box pair of Crocs. And you might be like, why are you taking it out of one bag and putting it in another one? And that's because the bag that I had it in is the bag that I use to just store shoes in. And this is what I ship them out in. It's like, honestly, I could probably just go ahead and keep them in this bag from the get-go. But in case I have to like pull the bag out, I don't want to like waste one of these bags. So, all right. This is under a pound as well. Kind of the same situation. I don't want to just stick it in a padded mailer in case it gets squished. Let's see if I have a lightweight box that these will fit in. Alright, I found the perfect box. This is what my Sephora came in. However, I'm going to undo that tape. I'll put some more tape on the bottom to kind of reinforce it. This is going out to... These sold for a lot too. I don't remember exactly how much. I'll have it on the screen, but they definitely sold for a good amount for Crocs, but I did sit on them for a lot longer than I would have liked to. Dear Michelle, thank you. And you guys, I do not have nice handwriting. It just looks crazy because I'm scribbling. I'm just trying to write it as quickly as possible, but it's handwritten, and I think that that counts for something. So I'm going to rip off as much of this tag as I can. I think I've showed this before. If not, I guess this is the first time. But this is called Box Refresh. A company sent this out to me. I will put a link to where you can find this. I'm not like sponsored by it. They just asked me to try it. They did send it out to me for free. But basically, it's like, it looks like a deodorant stick. But basically, there's like paint down here that is the color of a typical cardboard box, and what happens is you roll it using this roller, you roll it over the label, and then it just basically camouflages the label as if it's part of the box. So you can see right here, like they painted essentially over the former or like the prior label that was on the box, because you can't have barcodes of prior boxes on your existing packages. Like if they see the old barcode and the new barcode, they're just not going to ship it out. And so that's a really nice way to just have like a nice clean look and not ruin your boxes by ripping off the old labels. It does take, however, a little bit of time to dry. So what I would suggest if you use something like that is you're going to want to do it to all of your boxes right when you get them, before you save them, let them dry. And then when it's time to actually ship something, you'll have a bunch of boxes with dried paint on the old labels. But I don't have my life together that much yet. But I have tried the product. I'll put like a link here to the Instagram reel or whatever that I made about it, and I'll show you, how great it was. I just, again, don't have my life together at this moment and have like a bunch of boxes with the labels painted over. All right, so it is right at a pound. Okay, perfect. So this is going out to Michelle, and I'm gonna get the dimensions of this and write that down as well. So this is 10.5 by 8 by 5. All right, we just have a few more. This is like an old pair of starter pants. I don't know why I listed these, to tell you the truth, but I did, and they sold. They didn't sell for a lot, but I wasn't expecting them to, and I still listed them anyway. Oh, there's like a piece of hair. This will fit nicely inside of an eBay mailer. Oh, I almost forgot the card. So this is going out to... Oh my god, this looks terrible. I'm not even going to show you how bad my signature looks there. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's fine. No one's going to give me negative feedback because my signature looked bad. That is 15 ounces. This is going out to Derek. I also wrote that horribly. All right, I think this is the last one. Let's see. Yeah, so this is like a long gown. So there's actually like a corset kind of in here, which is why I have it in such a big bag. It could have definitely folded down more, except I don't want to ruin the structural integrity of that like corset. And so I'm just going to leave it like this. Let's see. I mean, I do think I can just go ahead and ship this out in an eBay poly mailer. So let's see what I've got. I've actually got these big ones that they gave us at eBay Open, so I think that'll be perfect. I'll go ahead and slip this inside of here. Either way, like I said, the only reason I have so many items to ship out today is because of the fact that I changed my shipping and handling time to like 5 days instead of the 1 business day that I normally do. I'll show you in a little tutorial right here how to do it. It's pretty simple. You just want to make sure that you remember to select all of your listings so that you can just do it at once versus having to do them in like chunks. I would just select all of your listings. You can change your shipping and handling time to reflect how much time you need. If you want, you can also turn on like vacation mode and that'll let people know. I think they get sent like a notification or something that you're on vacation. I honestly don't do that. I just change the shipping and handling time and it's fine. So this is going out to Lorena. Like, does that even look like a name to you? Do you see that? Lord, but it's like, I know. I can read my own handling now. Okay. And I just knocked over a bunch of things. Cool. All right, we'll have to clean that up. 15 ounces. So now we're going to input all of this information and I'll show you what it comes out to. So for the Ted Baker, it was actually 7 ounces. We have the dimensions there already. The Lauren Ralph Lauren ended up being 11 ounces. We've got the dimensions there. The Nike shorts ended up being 3 ounces. It's about 4, but we'll just say it's that. The starter pants were 15 ounces, so that is correct. This Alvina one ended up being 15 ounces. This one's a bit bigger. It's 14 by 15. Hopefully that doesn't mess it up too much. Yeah, same. The Anthropology slides ended up being 14, and that's a bit bigger. We'll say like 14 by 10. This girl is red flutter sleeve dress ended up being, where'd it go? 6 ounces. So we already had that. And then the Crocs were 1 pound exactly. And the size of that box, let me get that over here. Did I already write this down? I did. I already wrote this down. Why am I trying to do the same word twice? Oops. What happened here? I said 1 ounce, and I'm trying to say it's 10 by 8 by 5. All right. So that brings our shipping total to $41.32. I'm going to go ahead and confirm and pay. And then we're going to go ahead and ship these out over to my MUNBYN printer. Okay. I mean, even though it's annoying that I have to do this, I'm having more success with it now than I did a few shipping sessions ago. This is going out to Michael. Michael, where's yours? Yours is this little guy here. So I don't know. They might have a fix for this. I don't know what it is. I don't want to invest a lot of time learning how to use this. This is going out to Derek. Oh, that didn't make it in the bag. It popped right out. This is going out to Lorena. And if you couldn't tell, just this whole area is pretty crazy. It's pretty messy. If you would like to do like a clean with me video, let me know. I bet you guys would just be grossed out at how crazy it is in here. So maybe I shouldn't make that video and show that because it's not looking good. Come on. Yeah, hold on. And to my Dymo, these will go. So let's see. I did Ray's, Daniel, I did Derek's, I did Lorena's. I'm on Medina. Printing to my Dymo right now because I don't have to do that weird thing where I have to like keep pushing some of the thing back in. And I think it's, oh, okay. I thought I was printing everything, but it's just doing what I asked it to do. I feel like that's what a printer should do. This guy has mine of his own. All right, we've got 2 more, and then we're done. And then if anything sells tomorrow, I'll show you what sold tomorrow. I'll show you how I ship those items out. But if I don't sell anything tomorrow, that means this is the last one. And I don't know. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I ship. Hopefully you learned a little something about how to ship on eBay. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know if this did kind of ease your uncertainty with eBay shipping a little bit, or even if you were just here hanging out with me because you already know how to ship on eBay, but you're maybe, you know, in the background photographing or listing or something, and I'm just background noise to you. I am happy to be your background noise. I will be your background noise any day. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.